James, Willis, I mentioned this last night. It's got more legs today. The Prime Minister's interview where he says if elected this time, he's going to run a third term. He's going to be there at the next election. And I can absolutely bet he'll be decking out the lawns at Kirribilli House for his upcoming wedding. I bet he's already planted out the garden. He's decided, I know they've been doing renovations there. That's interesting in itself. But I bet you he's got it all right down to the menu organised on the presumption he's just going to walk in on the 3rd of May.
Well, we know by now that, Peter, when it comes to daily briefings and performances, the Prime Minister leaves a lot to be desired. He's rarely across his brief. He's picking fights with journalists every day and has been doing this weird thing at press conferences now where he's not allowing other people at the press conference to answer questions. He wants to take centre stage, pushes to the front. I've seen that on a few clips on social media today. I mean, most people would hear these comments, Peter, and think that the Prime Minister is honestly going to be lucky to survive from his own party through another term. It was only a few months ago, off the back of the Qantas saga, when he bought the house on the Central Coast. Remember the Voice referendum as well, that the PM's polling numbers were dreadful. Now, they might have improved slightly, but still, certainly people inside the Labor Party in the next 6 to 12 months, if they do survive May 3, would be looking at the PM and whether he is the right man to get them through another term. I can't see it happening. And I think the big problem for Anthony Albanese, Peter, as you know, he's part of the old system. He's sitting on a small fortune in terms of super and entitlements when he does finally leave. I don't know what he's going to do after he leaves federal parliament. I think he'd be really concerned and confused about finding another job and maybe hopes that it lasts forever. The problem is, as I say, I don't think the Labor caucus will allow that to continue if the next 6-12 months plays out after the election, as it may well do.
I guarantee you'll end up on an industry super fund board. That's where all the Labor guys go in their retirement, get looked after by the unions and sit on their big pensions. Hey, let's go to the Coalition's defence policy. This staggers me, Nick, I have to say, and I made the point I'm not going to give them free advice through the TV, but I tell you, I have been on the phone a few times. Why on earth would you launch the campaign on Sunday and not have your defence policy front and centre? We say all the time these are dangerous times, these are uncertain times. The talk I'm hearing is they want to align it with Anzac Day, but I mean, we'll start voting in pre-polls next Tuesday. Anzac Day is at the end of, so Friday week, at the end of that week. I mean, come on. This is a huge equity for the Coalition. It should be out there front and centre. So too should be Andrew Hastie.
Oh, absolutely, Peter. This is a huge, huge issue in the community. I know we say it's cost of living, cost of living, cost of living, but the issue of national security is really bearing down on people. And there was that discussion in one of the papers this morning about the Trump effect. I think the big part of the Trump effect is people fear not just the tariff, but more so whether America will abide by its agreement with us under ANZUS and come to our aid, you know, if we're invaded, because that, fingers crossed, is not on the cards. But we have seen that Chinese warship do a victory lap around Australia and do live fire exercises off the coast of Sydney. That is really scaring people in the community. It really, really is. And this is where the Coalition should be playing to their strengths, should be talking about defence big time, should be talking about spending big on defence, because that's the only thing I want them to spend big on, quite frankly, and I want them to spend very big on it. We should be really making this our strength at the moment. And absolutely, let's see Andrew Hastie out and about.